And back to the United States, taxpayer outrage is erupting as USAID faces accusations of wasting public funds on several bizarre projects. President Trump and Elon Musk have launched a fiery crackdown calling the agency corrupt and inefficient. In fact, since last Monday, USAID offices have been shuttered, employees are sidelined, and the aid to critical global programs remain frozen. Meanwhile, critics warn of disastrous consequences for global health and humanitarian efforts if USAID doesn't resume its services. The nation watches as the chaos unfolds. Our next report has more.
Protests shook Washington, D.C. as furious aid workers and activists swarmed the streets. USAID saves lives, they shouted, slamming President Trump and his buddy Elon Musk for dismantling America's key lifeline to the world. United States Agency for International Development, or USAID.
With this, we are witnessing in real time the most corrupt bargain in American history. Elon Musk paid over $250 million to help elect Donald Trump. And now Donald Trump is turning over the keys to the Treasury and the rest of the federal government to Elon Musk. We need to end this illegal power grab, and we are going to do it now. We are not going back.
And it all began with Elon Musk's cost-cutting crusade. Tasked by President Donald Trump, Musk claimed USAID was a criminal organization. He accused it of wasting taxpayers' money, addressing them to be Viper's nest of radical left Marxists who hate America. And working on making the president's buddy happy, the Trump administration moved swiftly to freeze billions in foreign aid.
It's something that should have been done a long time ago. It went crazy during the Biden administration. They went totally crazy, what they were doing, and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it. It was a shame. So they're tremendous fraud. But we'll be doing a report. We'll be giving you that report at the appropriate time.
The list of alleged spending shocked many. $50 million for condoms in Gaza, $1.5 million to promote diversity in Serbia, $47,000 on a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru, $2 million for sex change practices in Guatemala, $1.5 million to promote LGBTQ+ in Jamaica, $5.5 million for gender activism in Uganda, $6.3 million for men who have sex with men in South Africa, and $600,000 for family planning in Latin America. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pulls no punches. The White House Press Secretary pulls no punches. The American people deserve better, she said.
These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do.
In fiscal year 2023, USAID managed more than $40 billion in combined appropriations, and in the same year, USAID provided assistance to about 130 countries, of which the top recipients were Ukraine, Ethiopia, Jordan, Congo, Somalia, Yemen, Afghanistan, Nigeria, South Sudan, and Syria. Now, even though the naysayers will complain that the United States spends less than 1% of its budget on foreign assistance, the Republicans were quick to bite. Kimberly Classic, who is a former GOP congressional nominee taking a dig at suffering countries, said, "It is time America will step back from being a sugar daddy for other countries." MAGA Representative Mike Collins, taking a jibe at USAID expenditures, joked that he got laid off and was in charge of making the Taliban trance. Sean Hendricks, who works with Mr. Beast, was also not far behind to cut USAID spending down to size. He declared that the aid funding could be the single greatest government corruption story of all time. And last but not the least, American author Ryan James Kadusky, pointing to less informed Americans, made a very valid point. He said about 99% of Americans had no idea what USAID was 30 seconds ago, and if they had known, they'd demand it be closed years ago. Now, after the USAID office was shut this Monday, workers were logged out of their emails and phones. Many feared for their jobs.
And I was sold on the freedoms of America, but after 37 years here, I realized that the freedoms that I was sold on are no longer, especially within the last few days, it has been going away at warp speed. So yeah, I am prepared to leave, and I have been working with my passport because obviously a person with an accent now, you are subjected to possibly ICE wanting to know your status. So I have been working with my passport because it's not the same America I have been living in the last 37 years.
Then Secretary of State Marco Rubio stepped in. He boldly claimed to become the acting USAID director, and he promised change.
I'm the acting director of USAID. I've delegated that authority to someone, but I stay in touch with him. And so the functions of USAID, there are a lot of functions of USAID that are going to continue, that are going to be part of American foreign policy, but it has to be aligned with American foreign policy. And this is not my frustration. This frustration has existed now for almost a quarter century, and multiple administrations that have gone through this challenge. It's going to stop and it's going to end.
Though it is not clear what the Trump administration's timing for the next steps might be, but with protesters raging and billions on hold, America's reputation hangs by a thread. Will USAID rise again, or is this the beginning of its end?